within the game. I didn't understand. I didn't understand why the goals ruled out. I mean, Ben White does have a hand on board watching it again, but it's not enough to distract it. I did like the fact that we're getting back to set piece FC. As you lot know, the ball's gone in. Dan Ben White is making himself a nuisance. Ward's kind of half flapped at it. Eventually, Xhaka has recovered the ball and set it to Trossard. Trossard has slapped it top bins. And I did like the fact that Ben White was standing on the keeper. I did like the fact that Trossard was hanging on the edge of the area. I did like the fact Xhaka reacted. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that we've gone to sleep there. Really, well, we've not even gone to sleep. We've been done dirty by VAR. I didn't think there's anything wrong with that. One thing I did like with Arsenal was the interchange in movement. As you know, when Zinchenko goes inside, Xhaka cuts out. Martinelli had consistent options throughout, and obviously there was times Trossard would drop deep. Martinelli would swap with him and drop deep. You obviously had Saka and White down the right hand side. You had Odegaard operating in the pockets and created the most chances in the first half. Centre backs had nothing to do. Jorginho was intercepting. We are susceptible on the transition because there was a couple of times Leicester were attacking and not giving it to Tete or Kelechi, who was pulling out wide. So it was lovely to see the interchange in movement, the fact that everyone showed for the ball and all of that sort of stuff, people. Obviously, when you look at their shape, really, from Leicester, they were just two banks of four. You had, Ndidi kind of in the half space. You had Kelechi by himself. They were just camped in their own half, being hella narrow and not trying to make anything happen, really and truly. Obviously, we started the second half in fantastic fashion. And if you go and look at it, people, obviously we've pressed them. If you go and watch it again, defensively, they're at sixes and sevens early. We've pressed them very early. Like, we forced them to give the ball away. If you lot remember, it's a bit of a mess between Cassandra and someone else. It's been played to this man. Gabriel's just pull it into the channels. Gabriel Martinelli, as soon as that happened, is on his bike when Trossard's up there, people, and he's being pursued by Harry Shotter. Now, if we advance play slightly further forward, people, if you lot remember, obviously, eventually Trossard's done him. Probably we're getting a bit down here again. I wish these were motion graphics, but as you know, eventually Martinelli's been played in. Not to scale, of course. Martinelli's been played in and he slotted it home. It was lovely to see Martinelli on his bike the minute Trossard got that ball. As I said, the fast, fluid play was amazing. The only thing we need to do is probably scored some goals in the first half and play to our full potential in that regard. So I was a happy bunny in that regard. If we look at the Twitter account or Bruno and see what's being said, people, Arsenal have earned 57 points. That's one. Oh, well. Going again. Arsenal are just the sixth club to have 5 players start each of their team's first 24 Premier League matches of a single season. Leicester have won just 3 of their last 12 Premier League home games. Only Southampton have a worse record. Trossard has scored or assisted in 3 of his last 4 Premier League games against Leicester. Should have had a goal as well as an assist, but it is what it is. Arsenal have scored 14 goals in the 15 minutes after halftime, the most of any team in the Premier League in that period. Martinelli loves playing against Leicester, just like Villa. Martinelli has scored or assisted in all 3 of his Premier League appearances against Leicester. We've earned 57 points. That's one more than we managed in the whole of the 2019-20 season. Crazy. So we're doing what we need to do. Arsenal have won 5 consecutive league games against Leicester for the first time since the 1930s. There were just 4 shots in that second half. Arsenal had 3 and Leicester had 1, which was their only effort of the entire game. So we completely stifled them, people, which just shows the progress we've made. And apparently this was the second time this season Arsenal restricted their opponents to 0 shots in the first half. We also did that against Bournemouth. Bournemouth did not try anything. How we didn't have a penalty on Bukayo Saka, I don't understand, especially when you've ruled out Ben White's role in Trossard's fantastic strike. I don't know, people, for what it's worth. Scrolling all the way down, trying to find some more shameless Arsenal news. What's this? We've probably gone back too far, haven't we? What's this? All 90 minutes equal. Percentage of total match minutes with ball in play. 55.3. Okay, Arsenal. This ain't the best site. It's being said about Arsenal here. Try not to miss a beat. Where is the Arsenal news? Meaty. Again, in the first half, people, Odegaard, you'd have to watch the game to see what he did, but you heard me allude to it. Martin Odegaard created as many chances free as every other player on the pitch combined in the first 45 minutes. Once again, most touches in the first half against Leicester. As I said, everybody showed for it. Christensen, who did quite well against Saka. Jorginho had 68. Zinchenko had 52, Saliba had 51, Xhaka had 50, Benjamin White had 46, Gabriel had 40, Odegaard had 38, Saka had 36, Martinelli had 32. Then the next Arsenal player would be Trossard with 28 people. Arsenal's record on the road this season, from the 13 games we played, 2 losses at St Mary's and Old Trafford, where Man United and Southampton are concerned. We've drawn once, we've scored 25 goals, and we've conceded 9. Incredible form from us. Continue where that is concerned. Leandro Trossard's game by numbers, people, versus Leicester: 100% dribbles completed, 100% tackles won 7 of his duels, had 2 shots, had 1 chance created, 1 assist. And he's unfortunate that a wonderful strike was disallowed. But you'll get your opportunity to bag more. Jorginho, who's arguably man of the match, both the January signings doing quite well. His game by numbers. He had 95 touches, which was the most. Had 68 passes complete, which is the most. 1 possession 10 times, which was the most. 3 tackles made, which was again the most. He won a foul, he won an interception, and he won 7 of his duels. And also game management, dark arts, as he was making a bit of a meal towards the end as we looked to try and see out the game, man. Really and truly. 70 likes, people. 30 more from 100. Keep running it up. So there's that, people. Should we see what the gaffer has had to say? Big up Mikel Arteta, 200 Premier League goals. Martinelli's goal against Leicester was the 200th we scored in the Premier League under Mikel Arteta. The very first was scored by Aubameyang in a 1-1 draw against Bournemouth in 2019. Wait, what a time we've gone. Saka is the leading goal scorer in the league under the boss with 26. He recently overtook Aubameyang with 25. Lacazette was next with 22. Martinelli has now moved on to 19, and Odegaard is next with 16. In the same period, we've conceded 131 goals in the league. Throughout Arteta's reign, we've scored 280 goals in all comps. We've also brought up a couple of other landmarks in the victory. It was our 10th success on the road in the Premier League this season, the fastest we have reached 10 away victories in any league campaign in our history in 13 games. Ramsdale also kept his 8th clean sheet in the Premier League away, people, and that's the most by any keeper for joining us since Lehmann, also with 8 in the unbeaten season. It was a quiet afternoon for our keeper, though. He didn't have a single save to make, as we restricted the Foxes to just 1 shot all afternoon. Their fewest in a game since Opta began stats in 03-04. What was that Dewsbury Hall effort? DG, you plan on watching Nuno ball out against PSG? Yeah, but I ain't watching that now, man. If we listen to Mikel Arteta on the win on Trossard and Martinelli, on the key to our away record this season, I think performances. I think to do what the team has done here today is very difficult. I think we dominated the game from start almost to finish. We had a difficult 10 or so minutes where we gave so many balls away that we lost a little bit of control. But in general, I think our play and understanding of the space, how they were pressing, how we got into the final third positions was excellent. We lacked a little bit of that final pass to score more, create bigger chances. I think we weren't over the decision with the disallowed goal, which was difficult to take. But to stay really focused and determined to do that, I think defensively we were incredible, because we restricted Leicester to 1 shot on target in the whole game at home. Is a difficult thing to do. The team did really well. On whether Saka should have had a penalty, I don't know. I haven't seen that image. It's over now. I don't want to talk about these situations too much. We're happy to win these 2 away games against Aston Villa and Leicester, and we deserve to win the games with the way we played. Now on to the next one against Everton. On Trossard's performance, he did really well. I think he was really good. I think he got involved in many situations that could have ended up in many more big chances. He was involved in the incredible goal that he scored that was disallowed, involved in the goal of Gabby, the pass that he played to him. He's so good in small spaces, tight spaces, with his creativity to open people up. I'm really happy for him. On whether Trossard could play in that position again, we had the option to play Martinelli as a 9 and Leao on the left. We had to see how the game developed and what Leicester wanted to do. I wanted to have the option from midfield to make that change if necessary, and it was great because I think his contribution was really good. On the achievement of winning the last 2 away games, really important. Obviously, it creates more belief in the players, more belief around our club, and externally, I had full faith the players could do it. It was coming back to basics, some details that can get games away from us. We made it much more than what we got in the last 2 games, especially today. We've done those things much better. On the importance of a clean sheet, set players, sloppy goals and individual errors is part of football. Sometimes you are going to concede in games, but the fact we are not conceding and giving away chances is really important if you want to be constantly winning matches. On the impact of Trossard and Jorginho, folks, smash the like button, keep your thoughts coming. Two players already that have experience in the league that really fitted our way of playing, really intelligent, both of them, to understand what is required in many situations that we demand them to execute certain things, and they have the personality to come here and play the way they played is what is required at this level. On our strategy in Jan, really happy because we were very clear with what we wanted to do. We could not do it and we had to adapt. In the window, you have to be able to do that, not feel sorry for ourselves. I think everyone from the owners to the board, Eddie especially, they are really, really strong in trying to do what we have to do. We were first there to get the options we wanted. On the details and the basics in relation to, getting back to such, especially against teams like Everton, the way we conceded the goal, the way we conceded certain set pieces were very avoidable. Sometimes the wave is created that is very far from the beach, then it's too late to avoid what is going to happen. And we had to improve on those things. I think today we done really, really well. On Martinelli, he said it was really important for him as well. Sometimes you have to give someone a breather to come back with more enthusiasm and more energy. And you saw it. He contributed with a fantastic goal that gave us the win. And with his contract, delighted because we've been working for a while on that. He's got 2 goals in 2 weeks after a bit of a layoff now. And he's got the same amount of goals in the Prem as Bukayo Saka, 9 apiece. Because we've been working for a while on that and we want to keep our best players with us. He's committed to what we are doing as a club. On Martinelli, not losing motivation. We are not going to lose that on Martinelli. My worry, if anything, is sometimes you have to slow him down because he has got too much. He's in a great place. Fair enough, Gaffer. I don't think there's anything more. Martinelli has said it was a beautiful goal. On the game, he said it was a tough game, but we did it. 3 points is the most important thing. He then said, I think in most of the games in the league, we're doing this. I think we need to keep going and be patient when we get into the final third. We did it today. We got the goal and the win as well. On the goal, it was a good goal, a beautiful goal. It was a great ball from Liao, and I just put it in the back of the net. It was a good goal. When asked about injury, he said nothing happened. I'm fine. On the clean sheet, it's very, very important. The gaffer was saying to us this week that we needed a clean sheet, and we did that today. I'm so happy for that. On Man City pressure, I think so, but we need to think about ourselves and win our games because it's in our control, and we need to do everything to get the points. On the Everton game, yes, of course, we go again. Another game against them at home. We'll go for it. Thank you. And I'll be real, against Everton, they lost this week. They're going to want to hit back. Everton and Bournemouth, we need to take full points. I want to go unbeaten in what is left of, what was left